Sarah and Daniel Carter were the kind of couple everyone envied. To the outside world, they seemed to have it all: a beautiful home, successful careers, and a marriage full of love. They shared every moment on social media, posting pictures of their vacations, family gatherings, and romantic dinners. They were the perfect couple. They met when they were both in their mid-20s. Sarah was an ambitious marketing executive, and Daniel was a well-respected lawyer. The two hit it off almost instantly. They seemed to complement each other perfectly. Sarah, the outgoing and lively one, and Daniel, the quiet but intelligent one. After a year of dating, they were engaged, and soon after, they married. Their wedding was nothing short of extravagant, and their pictures from the day showed a beautiful bride, a handsome groom, and a crowd of well-wishers. Their dream seemed to be unfolding perfectly, with Sarah planning a family and Daniel's career on the rise. But as their story unfolded, things weren't as perfect as they appeared. Sarah began to notice small, seemingly insignificant signs that things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Daniel, who once had an open and loving demeanor, began to withdraw. He spent longer hours at work, rarely coming home on time, and when he did, he was distant. The atmosphere at home shifted. Daniel, who once filled their house with warmth, now barely spoke to Sarah when he was around. The cracks in their relationship began to deepen. Sarah tried to push her concerns aside. She believed in their love and convinced herself that things would improve. But as the months passed, the tension only grew. She had no idea that Daniel was leading a double life. While Sarah worked hard to maintain their marriage, Daniel had been having an affair with a woman named Emily from his law firm. It had started innocently enough, but soon turned into a passionate affair that Daniel kept secret. Alongside this, Daniel had also buried himself in gambling. He had been making high-risk investments that were quickly draining their finances. But Sarah was unaware of all of this. She thought their problems were just a phase, unaware that Daniel's deception ran much deeper. The breaking point came one evening when Sarah planned a romantic dinner to celebrate their wedding anniversary. She hoped it would rekindle the spark between them. But Daniel didn't show up. Hours passed, and Sarah's anxiety grew. She tried calling him, but he didn't answer. Desperate, she went to his office. When Sarah arrived at his office building, she saw Daniel's car parked outside. But when she entered the building, Daniel wasn't there. After knocking on his office door and receiving no response, she forced her way inside. What she discovered that night would shatter everything she thought she knew about their relationship. There, in his office, was evidence of Daniel's affair with Emily. Devastated, Sarah confronted Daniel that night. He admitted everything: the affair, his gambling addiction, his lies. But his apology did little to ease her pain. Sarah decided that she couldn't live in a marriage built on lies. She filed for divorce the next day. But Daniel wasn't ready to give up so easily. He wasn't willing to let go of the life he had with Sarah, even though it was falling apart. In his desperation, Daniel made a decision that would change everything. His need to maintain the perfect image, to hold on to the facade of their perfect marriage, drove him to extreme measures. That night, as Sarah was packing her things to move out, Daniel broke into their home. What followed was a violent confrontation. In a fit of rage, Daniel struck Sarah, and she lost her life that night. It was a senseless act of violence, one that no one could have predicted. Daniel, the man who had once promised to cherish Sarah, had destroyed the very life they had built together. The investigation into Sarah's death uncovered the full extent of Daniel's lies. The affair, the gambling, the shady dealings, it all came to light. Daniel was arrested and charged with his wife's murder. During the trial, every detail of their life was dissected in public. The image of the perfect couple was torn apart, revealing a man driven by jealousy, shame, and deceit. Daniel pled guilty to the murder of his wife, and the court sentenced him to life in prison. The case became a media sensation, with people wondering how a seemingly perfect marriage could end in such tragedy. The story of Sarah and Daniel Carter is a stark reminder that appearances can be deceiving. On the surface, they seemed like the perfect couple, successful, happy, and in love. But behind the closed doors of their home, dark secrets festered, leading to a tragedy that could have been avoided. Their story is a cautionary tale of how lies, secrecy, and the desire to maintain a perfect image can destroy even the most seemingly perfect relationships. It reminds us that no relationship is perfect if it's built on lies and deception. And in the end, the truth always finds a way to come to light.